how to set boundaries with your work schedule so you can create better work-life balance. This is fantastic in setting boundaries around your schedule and leaving the office, even your home office, maybe even especially your home office at a specific time every day is something that will help you enormously. And if you master this concept, you're going to experience so much better satisfaction with your work. You'll likely even get more done than before. You'll feel less stress and anxiety, and you'll be on your way to creating healthy habits to support you. Because really, honestly, you're no fun when you're exhausted and overwhelmed all the time. And I laugh because that was me. I was definitely not a lot of fun when I was struggling with burnout while I led the communications for a $50 million company. So hey, I've been there, I feel ya. But I figured it out. And as a certified life and business coach, I now get to help time-starved leaders and entrepreneurs to actually take action and take back control so they can rock their careers and their businesses. A lot of them can start out feeling trapped and in a lot of ways powerless to change anything. And they're just amazing at powering through, but they notice it's taking that toll on their productivity, their energy, their confidence. It's impacting their families and their careers and maybe even their health. So if this resonates with you, you are in the right place. And I really want to honor you for showing up and absorbing everything. It really signifies your commitment to creating better work-life balance in your life. Here's how I set boundaries with my schedule to create better balance and how I help others to do the same. Because when I was in corporate leading that communications, like I mentioned, I'd been working in the office until 7 or 8 at night pretty regularly, and some days until 10 or 11 at night. And then I'd come home, I'd scarf down some food, and I'd do more work, usually until midnight or 1 a.m. So obviously that wasn't working for me at all, and I wanted to change that. So I set boundaries. But here's the important part. Write this down. I set boundaries with myself. I had a realization. No one was forcing me to work those hours. I was choosing to work those hours because I felt like I had to try to get ahead. I always felt like I was behind or like I was going to drop a ball, and my to-do list, trust me, it was never done. And I really felt stuck, like so many of the people that I do work more closely with. So what's the takeaway here? The person you need to set boundaries with is you. And it can be hard, but here's how you go about doing that. And it is simple, not necessarily easy, but it is simple. 2 steps. I'm going to lay them out and then we'll go into detail with each one. So step 1, you need to change your mindset. And step 2, to change your mindset, you need to look your fears in the face. Here's what I mean. So in order to take action and leave the office at a specific time, it likely means that you'll need to get up from your desk when you know you have a ton of stuff still left to do. It's going to feel really uncomfortable. It may even make you feel anxious at first when you first start working less and sticking to those boundaries. But it's going to pay off immensely. Now, I go into this so much deeper in the Act on It success system, and I customize this for my clients specific to the boundaries they want to set. But for this training, when you're trapped in this cycle, feeling like you need to put in those extra hours to get ahead, then what ends up happening, and what I've noticed over the number of years that I've done this, is that you're usually motivated by fear that you're going to fall behind, that you're going to miss something. If that happens, then this other bad thing will happen, these dire consequences. At least that's the fear in our minds. And really, you don't really know what that bad thing is, because if you're like me, and I think this is just a human thing, you don't want to look or acknowledge the fear. You just feel it and then do something else. And usually it's that more work. And so you've got this dark cloud sitting over your shoulder, really driving you to keep doing what you're doing. And it's in fact holding you hostage and keeping you stuck in this never-ending cycle. Because we can tell ourselves things like, oh, it's just until this project is over. Once it's done, then I can rest. Sound familiar? But just when you get to that light at the end of the tunnel, you realize it's your boss with a torch handing you more work to do. Or if you're an entrepreneur, it's your next great idea or the next project you feel you need to do to keep the cash flow going. And so the cycle continues. So changing these thoughts, this mindset around why you need to keep working is critical. And that takes us to step number 2. So to change your mindset, look those fears in the face. Really look at them. And they're going to be a little bit different for everyone, but there are a couple of pretty similar themes. And maybe it's you'll get fired from your job if you're in corporate and because you don't put in those hours. Or for those of you in business, maybe you think you're going to lose all of your clients. You're not going to make any money and have to go out and get a day job. So however this shows up for you, know this. The fear is usually based on a fictional worst case scenario. A fictional worst case scenario. And we make assumptions about all the bad things that could happen, and they're usually not realistic. So you'll get fired, you'll lose all your clients, you won't make any money. All those are usually fictional. And let's take one of those and break it down. Look at it and look at what is the worst case scenario. Look that dark cloud right in the eyes. And once you've identified it, ask a couple of questions. First of all, how likely is this to happen? And second, what are the blessings that could come as a result of the worst case scenario? So let's take losing all of your clients and needing to get a day job as a worst case scenario. Okay, number 1, how likely is that to happen? Not really. You probably have to do something pretty drastic to lose all your clients suddenly. What are the blessings of getting a day job? Well, maybe it's steady pay, maybe some benefits, maybe you can pay your bills on time. When you do come face to face with those worst case scenarios, you realize, okay, it's not actually that bad. So to recap, how to set boundaries around your work schedule to create better balance. Number 1, change your mindset. And number 2, look your fears in the face. Now, obviously, to take this even deeper, I highly recommend reaching out for a strategy session, though of course I'm biased about that, but it is confidential and it's complimentary, and I get to listen. I get to listen to you, hear what's happening for you. I'll be asking questions to get clarity, and at the end, there are 3 things that happen. I make a recommendation for what you can keep doing to move yourself forward on your own, or I make a referral to another practitioner who might be better able to support you than I can in the moment. Or 3, suggest that we work together. Whatever the outcome from that, it's a really great thing, and I don't think I've ever had anyone come on and say that they've regretted it. So highly recommend that. You can find the link below. In the meantime, I am Erin Acton, inviting you to dream it and act on it.